Hello everybody, my name is Luchara, and this is 10 more things I wish I had known when I started playing Eco. We're going to start with some really basic stuff that'll help out new players, and then later in the video we'll have some stuff that even players that have played a lot may not know. Let's jump into it. The first thing I wish I knew is that you can skip the tutorial. I do recommend playing through the tutorial once the first time you play, but after that, every time you join a new server or start a new single player game, you'll be prompted to do the tutorial. I did it way more times than I would care to admit before I realized you can skip it. Hit tab to free up your mouse. Go up in the tutorial, no matter what step is here. Click on the little red X, and then there'll be this checkbox for skip all tutorials. Skip this task. Yes, boom, done. No more tutorial. Like I said, do it once. After that, feel free to skip it. That's how you do it. I wish I had known that because I did do that. I did that tutorial like 4 or 5 times probably. Way more than I like to admit anyway. All right, this one is for the early game where you're mostly going to be gathering your own food and just throwing it on a fire to eat. As you can see, I can just hit E to pick up these tomatoes. Same with this rice here. Same with this corn over here. But this blue flower thing here, I can't pick that up. But if I have my shovel equipped, there we go. That gave me Camas bulbs, which is a great source of fat in the early game. But you need your shovel for it. You can't pick it up by hand. You got to have your shovel out and ready. And it's not just Camas bulbs. There's also these big leafy plants in the rainforest biome, where if you use your shovel, you get taro roots, kind of like potatoes. These taro roots. They are a good source of carbs in the early game, although carbs aren't as hard to find. But Camas bulbs in particular, great early game. Need your shovel, use it. All right, let's talk about the map. The map by default is a 3D map like this, looks like this. Looks cool. I don't hate it, but go into settings here, click here, camera mode, 2D, you see so much more. And obviously it's a preference thing. If you prefer the 3D world, hey, more power to you, but options are good, right? And you should know your options. And I personally think that this 2D map is way better. So yeah, settings, camera mode, 2D, boom. And you can go back and forth too. It's great. All right, so this next tip has to do with building. If you hold F, I'm sure most people know this, but if you hold F, you can switch between a basic block, floor, walls, roofs, slopes, supports, all these different things, right? And if you didn't know that, well, I just blew your mind. But the thing that I didn't realize for the longest time, like multiple servers, is there's also these fill types down here. Now, how many options you see here will depend on type of material you're using, and I think maybe the type of hammer you have might, matter here. But let's just pick this line. Instead of placing one cube at a time, we go boom, 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 just like that, right? Like it's so easy, so much easier. Like I was a sucker placing blocks one at a time for far too long. And I mean, so that was the line. There's also like the wall option here. Like, let's do the wall, the 2-point wall. Let's just go over here where there's, an upper end point. Boom. Oh, of course I missed. Oh, I think this might be somebody else's property. Yeah, it's somebody else's property. I can't do it here. What about here? Boom, instant wall. Just like that. Hold F. Different options. Again, you got all this stuff, but don't forget these. Make building way faster. Don't build one block at a time like me. Don't be a sucker. All right, the fifth thing I wish I knew was the Unstuck command. I found on my community servers, a lot of people don't know about it. And actually, let me talk about my community servers for a little bit. So I've run 8 eco community servers now. If you'd like to join the next one, it'll be starting in mid-October. Link in the description down below to my Discord. We have a fantastic community. I feel like I got a great admin team. We got some good laws. We got some fun mods on here, like these yellow bricks and yellow reinforced concrete you see up there. That's from a mod. So yeah, check out the Discord for that. But yeah, /Unstuck. So I'm down here where I have all my stockpiles. There's no way out. There's no stairs. /Unstuck. There I am. I'm safe. I'm up here. And yeah, this right here is my last community server, by the way, post Meteor. So yeah, join my Discord, check it out. All right, this next tip is actually a couple of small tips to help organize your storage better. If you go to any crafting table and go to the storage tab, it will have every stockpile, storage chest, whatever that's within range. You can prioritize these by dragging and dropping them. So if I wanted, for example, to have this stockpile be higher priority because of where it's positioned or whatever, I can pick it up, drag it, and put it up here. So now it's above this one, right? Another thing you can do, as you can see, is you can rename everything. You can rename your stockpiles, your storage chests. You can even rename your crafting tables, which would be good. Like, for example, I have two masonry tables. If I want to have one focused on just making mortar, for example, I could name it, mortar table. And the other one could be, stone table or whatever. Also, you have these here to toggle crafting input. It allows the crafting table to pull stuff from the storage. So it's kind of the input output thing, it's kind of backwards. Input is like it's input to the table, right? And then output. So you can have it just do one or the other or both, or you can have it do neither, right? And if you do want to, exclude something, you can also hide it by clicking there, which is good. So just you can make yourself a lot easier. Go into each crafting table, make sure the storages are in the order you want them in. Use these, rename everything, hide everything that you're not going to use, right? Just makes your life easier. And that's very important, right? Eco's a game you're going to be playing a lot. So making your life easier is very important. All right. So those first 6 tips were really, aimed at newer players. These last 4 tips are stuff that even some advanced players don't know. So claiming property. You take the stake, you put down, boom, right click, claim land. Easy peasy, right? But what if you want to claim a lot of land? It is not easy peasy. It's kind of a pain. But once you have that first square, you can look at it and hit E to examine the claim, and then go edit. So here's our claim right here. So we could just go right click, just boom, and claim all this. On claim, it's just as easy. It's so easy to claim massive. And even like if you really want to do it a lot, you can make the size of, like you can claim 3x3s all at once. Boom. So much easier to claim a lot of land. And then you do need to remember to hit submit. But as long as you have enough claim papers in your backpack, this is all you need to do. Boom. This is mine now. Chair square. Look it up. Look at it on the map. It's all mine. That easy. Another way to get in there to do that, other than like if you don't have your claim stake on you, like you don't even need to have your claim stake. If you free up your mouse, click on the name of the property, you can go into edit there. You need a claim stake to claim the first one. After that, you don't even need your claim stake. So much easier. When I did this on stream one day, I blew several people's minds. So obviously it's something not everybody knows about. Everybody should know about though, because it'll make your life much easier. All right, well, I'm going to delete this because I don't really need it. All right, 3 tips to go. This next thing has to do with automatic stores, auto stores. So an auto store is when somebody is buying a thing from you and then it gets turned into something else, usually something better, and gets sold back to you. Most often used for upgrade modules, right? Basic upgrade 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Same with advanced. The example we're going to use here is an automatic upgrade 3 to 4 that Punchdown has. So a lot of people are nervous about using these, especially if the person isn't online. So you see Punch is buying advanced upgrade 3s, and you're hoping if you sell them one that you will get an advanced upgrade 4, which should be right here, out of stock. But if we sell them one, now we don't have one, but a lot of times what happens is people be like, oh, I sold them one and nothing came out, and they panic and they don't know what to do. Well, what you can do is if you go into the map and you mouse over the workstation that's making the thing you need, and then you mouse over the project, it will tell you what's needed. So in this situation, all that's needed is the advanced upgrade 3. So if I was to sell one to Punchdown, the upgrade 4 would come out. But it might be a situation where Punchdown runs out of lumber, right? In which case, it's like, oh crap, I got to go find some lumber for Punchdown, right? And I'm assuming Punchdown has a buy order for lumber. Yes, right? So if Punchdown did run out of lumber, and this no longer worked, you could sell the lumber to them and it'd be fine. So just a lot of people don't know about this, so that you can mouse over the workstations. This is the hint. This is the tip. Use the map, mouse over workstations. You can find out exactly what you need to do if it's not working. All right, tip number 9 is essentially that anything that uses power, it functions as like a power pole, a transmission pole, right? So these lamp posts, I guess you call them, street lights, whatever, street lamps. I was close. I was all around it. They use power, but they also function as a power pole, right? Like you can see there are no transmission poles here, right? But we have a power grid across the whole planet because of these lamp posts, these street lamps. It's great. So you can use this to your advantage, right? That way you don't have to have a bunch of transmission poles everywhere. But it also functions for mechanical power as well. So let's look at that. All right, so I'm just down at the beach here, got some windmills set up, and you can see these mills. So this mill obviously is going to have power because it's close enough to the windmills, right? Now it doesn't have the room requirements, but power grid's operational. We got power. Now this mill is definitely not close enough, right? If we didn't have that other mill, right? So the power grid is operational. So here, also operational. But if we were to take this mill out, for example, this one, oh, look at that, no power. So you can use that to get power where you need it, right? Especially if you're not using windmills, if you're using water wheels instead, because you can't just put a water wheel wherever. Well, you can, but that involves moving water around, which will be tip number 10. But you can use mills. Mills are pretty cheap to make, or arrastras. Anything that uses power works. I just use mills for this example because mills are relatively cheap to make. But like I said, use mills, use arrastras to use them as power poles, essentially. Get power where you need it. Especially, it's more valuable for mechanical power, in my opinion, because electrical power has a pretty big range. Mechanical power doesn't. All right, one more tip. It has to do with water. All right, the last thing I wish I knew is making pools of water. There are a lot of things that need water in eco. You know, water wheels, all electrical power other than wind turbines, blast furnaces, oil refineries. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but all those need water. And you might not be close to water. And you could just run pipes forever across the entire map to get water. Or you could just make a pool. Now, you're probably asking, how do you make a pool, Luch? I'm going to show you. All right, so I actually kind of forgot how to do this. Edible had to come give me a hand. This is kind of our practice pool, but this is what it'll look like when it's done. So it's got 3 by 3 and 3 down, and then you fill the bottom layer with brick. It has to be in aqueduct form. Needs to be aqueduct. That's key. And then you put like a retaining wall at the top, keep the water in. You make sure the pipe is going to be right in the middle. So let's go turn this water on. And then I will show what you need to do. So you just let it fill. It'll fill about to about there. And then you place a couple of more aqueduct blocks in the middle. You kind of let it fill there. And then you fill in the kind of the gaps that are there. Put some aqueduct in the corner, more aqueduct in this corner, aqueduct in this corner, and then you guessed it, aqueduct in that corner. You kind of just wait, let the water kind of, settle, level off. Looks good. You come over, you can turn your water off at that point. You come back. It should drop to about there and then stay. Then you can remove, obviously, your aqueduct blocks, but it should be a water source now. It shouldn't drop. Yeah, okay, yes. So wait, is this going to work? No, it worked. So that's how you make a water pool. And you can make as many as you need to kind of get water from point to point to point. Like if you don't want to invest in 1,000,000 iron pipes or whatever kind of pipes, you can use pools to transport your water around, right? And then once you're done, once you have your pool, you can take the pipes and you can resell them because pipes pretty much always have value. Anyway, that's how you make a pool. I know a lot of people were asking that question on my last server, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe. This was my second, 10 things video. So there should be a link up in the corner here to my first one. If you haven't seen that already, give that a look. If you want to check out my server, I run eco servers. I've already server number 9 is going to be coming up here next weekend, October 15th, depending on when you're watching this. Check that out. You want to join my Discord, if you want to join my server, links in the description down below. Most importantly, be good to each other. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.